very good evening. Welcome to BCN News. Leading our bulletin tonight, the Premier Sir Toke Talangi has announced salary and pension increases during the 45th Constitution Day celebrations. BCN reporter Esther Pavihi with the details.
In his speech, Premier Sir Toke Talangi announced that all public servants will receive an additional $30 to their fortnightly salaries. The nurses and teachers will receive $35 increase, and the pensioners will get an increase of $40 every 2 weeks. Premier Talangi said that it is the role of the government to generate revenue so that they are able to make these increases. He said the government had generated nearly $6 million, which will be used to fund these increases. The Premier made this announcement after rewarding the Niue Lawn Bowl medalists from the Pacific Games. The gold medalists Pauline Blumsky, Joy Perot and Christine Ioane were awarded $5,000 each. The silver medalists Pauline Blumsky, Pilana Mutfo, Vikatose Liu Mahetau and Joy Perot were awarded $4,000 each. And the bronze medalists, the Honourable Dalton Tangilangi, Norman Misimesi and Mark Blumsky, each received $3,000 each. This is Esther Pavi for BCN News.
The Chinese delegation that attended Niue's 45th Constitution Day celebration also marked the 70th anniversary of the founding of the People's Republic of China in Niue. The delegation was led by Chinese ambassador to New Zealand, Niue and the Cook Islands, Wu Shi. China and Niue established diplomatic relations 12 years ago. It's a relationship, the ambassador says, China values for several reasons.
How Niue is important to China? I have several reasons. First, we have a special bond, and I understand the Polynesians came from southern part of China, so we are distant cousins and we are relatives. And second, both Niue and China are developing countries, and developing countries always help each other. And third, a flower is not a spring. 100 flowers is a spring. So when China prosper, we want to help others to prosper as well. So when every country prosper, the world will be a better place to live.
Premier Sir Toke Talangi had confirmed to BCN News that $33,000 was recently provided by the Chinese government.
Over the years, we have been signing economic and technical cooperation agreements with Niue, and through these agreements, we offer our assistance to Niue, and sometimes it's a big project like the road upgrade program, and sometimes it's offering some vehicles or some goods which Niue government and the people needs.
The Chinese ambassador says bilateral relations have progressed well with ongoing and constructive cooperation across fields such as fisheries and tourism.
Over the years, we have been offering economic assistance to Niue with mutual respect and win-win cooperation. These assistance ranging from maintenance and expansion of television networks, personnel training, and providing goods, and so on. And the biggest project for China to assist Niue is the road upgrade program. I don't think the number of money is that important, and what's important is these projects deliver tangible benefits to the local people and help the local community to prosper.
And for the first time, Niue hosted a symphony orchestra. The China National Symphony Orchestra made a special trip to Niue to perform for the Niuean people on Sunday to celebrate the 45th anniversary of the Constitution Day of Niue. A large crowd gathered at the Niue High School Hall on Sunday night, including members of parliament, dignitaries and locals. Each performances by the Chinese musicians were met with applause and a standing ovation. The Chinese delegation, led by Chinese ambassador to New Zealand, Niue and the Cook Islands, Wu Shi, also marked the 70th anniversary of the founding of the People's Republic of China in Niue with a reception on Friday evening. government has retained the services of Pa Brumac to help Niue regain .nu domain and the benefits associated with the .nu. Esther Pavihi with this report.
The Niue government has been trying to gain control of .nu since Sir Tokitalangi became Premier in 2008. 18 months ago, the government retained the services of Swedish advisor Pa Brumac to help the Niue government with their legal case in the Swedish courts. Pa Brumac was on the island last weekend to attend the 45th Constitution celebrations, and he spoke to BCN News.
Niue has been a special case since Niue has not been in control of its own top-level domain. It was 15 years ago, more than that, taken by an American company before ICANN regulated the whole thing. So the .nu is Niue according to the ISO standard. About 6 years ago, in 2013, Sweden, the Swedish registry, for very strange reasons, it's the first time it has ever happened, took over the .nu responsibility and incomes and revenues. That is illegal both in Sweden and in Niue. Niue is a remote place and can make their voice heard really within ICANN. But not right now. Since 18 months, we are working very hard to get .nu back to Niue. Niue is not just any domain. In Europe, there are 400,000 users, registrars of the domain, which amounts to very, very much money. And all those revenues right now are going to Sweden.
Pa Brumac, who is also the deputy chair of ICANN, which is the Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers. Brumac is optimistic that in 6 months' time, Niue will start to see results of the many years of waiting. The original controller of .nu was an American, Bill Simage, who then sold it to a Swedish domain registry company. There are an estimated 400,000 registered users of .nu.
About 18 months ago, I got a marching order from Sir Tokitalangi to see what I could do. And right now I'm flying around the world, and we are about 20 people working on this issue. And I would estimate that within 6 months it will be in the hands of Niue again. And it coincides very well with the Manitou project and the 4G and everything. Having a good internet infrastructure is, of course, very central for growth in a country, for tourism or anything. So we have, in our working plan, we have a 6-month schedule for both. There's a trial going on in Sweden against the company who's done this. We will see what will open here because it's illegal in Niue too. And after I've been in Niue now, I'm flying over to Canada for an ICANN meeting to brief the rest of the board. I'm the vice chair there. So I think we will manage to finally get it back to Niue. Niue wasn't the only country that had this situation. Japan had it because in the 90s, before people understood what the internet would mean, there were these, what we call the internet cowboys, that were traveling around making governments sign a paper, and they were so-called trustees. But they were also obliged to serve the nation with a functioning internet.
Niue's USP campus will now have better connectivity for online learning through its new satellite dish. The new satellite system was officially launched yesterday by the chief guest Jackie Frizzell, the Divisional Manager Pacific Bilateral Division from New Zealand's Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade.
We've invested $6 million to support the upgrade of the USPNet system across 24 of USP's campuses and centres, and that's across 14 Pacific countries. It's important to us that the remote locations in particular get supported, like Niue, Tokelau, Tuvalu and Nauru. The latter, they've both recently launched satellites also, and they're part of the network upgrade. This specific USPNet project is one of the important commitments under our long-standing strategic partnership with USP. Access to what the USPNet can deliver will ensure Niue can deliver the next generation of academic and educational services for its staff and student base.
Niue's Minister for Social Services and Chair of the Niue Campus Advisory Committee, Billy Talangi, acknowledged the New Zealand government's support to USP.
It will certainly improve the connectivity of the Niue campus to the main campus in Laukala, Suva, Fiji, and also the other regional campuses throughout the 12 member countries of USP. With this new satellite system, it will give us an opportunity for the students in Niue that choose to study here. They will have much better opportunities in accessing online learning and library materials that at most times are only available to students studying at the local campus or USP, other bigger and better equipped campuses.
The new Joint Emergency Operations Centre at Whanokula has officially opened. The centre was officially opened last Wednesday by Lady Fifita Talangi. The centre houses the police station, National Disaster Management Office and Niue Fire Rescue Service. This is part of the strategic roadmap for emergency management, which will ensure its emergency services work together to coordinate emergency responses. Niue is the first Pacific nation to commit to this strategy. The new Joint Emergency Operations Centre includes Niue's Rescue Coordination Centre, a staging area for emergency vehicles and equipment, and relief and rehabilitation supplies, as well as a backup activation centre for the Niue Tsunami Early Warning System. The centre is funded by the Secretariat of the Pacific Community to the tune of $1 million. The Chief of Police confirmed that the building will be managed by the National Disaster Management Office as the Emergency Operations Centre, where coordination of first responders will be during emergency situations and during the aftermath of natural disasters. The school grounds at Paliasi was the venue for the National Show Day last Friday. The three highlight events on the day were the World Food Day activities organised by the Department of Agriculture, Forests and Fisheries, the Business Expo and the National Council of Women's Craft. BCN News spoke to Catherine Papani, the organizer of the Young Entrepreneurs Program for the day.
This year they've asked us to do 3 of their Year 5, 6 composite classes, so it's a total of 75 kids running their business.
And from you as the organizer, how successful has the program so far?
It's been really, we find it's been really successful in relation to engaging the kids, trying to make them understand about the business community here on Niue and the sheer hard work it takes to actually run a business. And they're starting to complain already about, when is it my turn to go off? I've been here long. So they're learning, they're putting into reality what they've learned in class. Then we have our Year 10s. We had 6 groups start up. Unfortunately, only 4 of them actually made it through to the end. They too came up with their own ideas and are showcasing it now. So we had the 04 crew and they bought accessories and t-shirts, 683 mod t-shirts, 16 t-shirts, but the OK Valleys, they decided to perhaps look at the rocks, paint them so that tourists can take a little bit of the rock with them when they leave. So hard slog for the year 10 of the high school, because they have us for the whole year practically, one class a week. And again, it's teaching them the realities of setting up a business. They go into more detail because they look at the legal structure, the financials, and they also have to go to the bank and seek startup funds from the bank, and that's down at Kiwi Bank. So thanks to Kiwi Bank for coming on in the program. Looking forward to next year's group, because what we find is as the years come up, there's different changes altogether, and we're finding that our juniors are actually coming in very clued up and engaged in relation to private sector.
And finally, the Rugby League game between the visiting Auckland Niue team and the local rugby team took place on Thursday afternoon at the Paliasi grounds. As predicted, the visitors won 34-10, but the local team did very well given they had just started training 6 weeks ago. VCN News spoke to Clifford Marsh, the captain of the local team, who said that he is very proud of his team given that they only got together a few weeks ago to practice, that the score was not too bad. He thanked the team coach, Zach Smith, and the local organisers, but especially to the visiting team from Auckland for a great game.
I think we were expecting a bit of a blowout from the visiting team, and I think we really stepped it up. Like we stood up to the contact, and like they play league all year round, and this is our first league game. So I think it was a big ups for us, and big confidence booster for the future if we do carry on with league.
The visiting Aucklanders had a star player in their team with Sydney Roosters under-20s development squad player Stephen Hollow, whose parents hail from the villages of Liku and Hakupu. BCN News spoke to him after the game.
It was good. Didn't expect much, but when you get on the field, you know they're the real deal, and they only play once a year. And pretty surprised how they turned out, how to be rugby players and how good they were on the league.
And that's BCN News for tonight. Thank you for joining us. Do join us same time tomorrow. Until then, have a good evening.